Hey y'all, it's November the 16th, I believe, 2017, and I wanted to take a moment out to holler at y'all real quick. Be quite honest with you, been a little bit under the weather the past few days. Get all feverish. Some reason at night my allergies and I get fever and I'm all cold. All right, so I was feeling a little bit out of it just earlier now. I'm running a little bit late. I was feeling a little bit out of it. And so what I did, instead of, rushing into a broadcast where there's more news than we could ever dream to cover. So instead of doing that, I thought I would take it easy a little bit, check out some videos, catch up with some people. I saw a good portion of a couple different videos from one of my favorites ever. That lady Celeste who knows. And the thing is, I gotta first of all before I start off, I know a lot of people put an effort into Katelyn Nicole Davis situation, and that's what we're here for in this video right now. Talk about it a little bit, and a lot of people put in an effort. And they all there's people in front of the scenes, and there's people behind the scenes still putting in effort to Katelyn Nicole Davis. I'm not gonna bother to tell you what it is because I'm sure all y'all out there know the situation, and that we're gaining on a year now. It's almost been a year since the whole incident happened. And me personally, I can feel kind of like the pressure building in regards to the fact that it's almost been a year. Shout out to the two people who are watching me. I don't know who you are. It doesn't really say. I'm not sure if you're making comments, but you probably should. You probably should make comments, and make some comments right now, like, and then in a minute or 2 minutes, I'm gonna check to see if I can. If I click this smiley face, does that let me read the comments? I don't know why there's a smiley face button. This technology is freaking me out. It's way over my head. But anyways, like I was saying earlier, I thought I would take it easy, and so I was catching up a little bit, and I saw some of Celeste's new videos regarding Katelyn Nicole Davis. And the thing is, man, I don't want to say entertaining, but they are. They're very educational, they're very informational. And, it's kind of on the cutting edge, I gotta say. Talking to people, all these brand new people like this girl Cherokee that y'all probably already saw out there, Cherokee with the purple hair and a baby. I don't even know who Cherokee is, but apparently she had a conversation with that fool Anthony Lee Rogers. All right, for whatever reason, I have no idea, but I'm gonna, I guess, look into it. The thing is, like I said, it's been a lot of people out there really putting in work. Kayla Nicole Davis, they're not gonna let it go. All right, it's just not gonna get let go. All right, and that's actually a beautiful thing. Something that I respect a whole bunch. I'm gonna see if I can click this smiley face, see if it does anything or what the hell it does. So bear with me just for 1 second. What the hell is it? I think it is a comments thing. I think y'all already commented, right? I don't know what it is. I don't know. I clicked the smiley face and a black thing pops up. Anyways, so I was watching some of her recent stuff in which she was talking to this girl Cherokee, and she had a very awkward conversation with Anthony Lee Rogers. All right. I guess before we get into the just discussing what we've discussed many times before we just hop into that, um, I wanted to throw out there some ideas. All right. Because the thing is, I think it's becoming, I don't know if it's becoming abundantly clear for everybody out there is that, sexual perversion be all around us. All right. And I don't know if that's awkward to bring up, but it is. It be all around us. All right. And it was interlaced in this whole dang situation with Kayla Nicole Davis. She should have never been around anything sexual or anything like that. Children should not be sexualized, but they are sexualized. Every single day, you can just, if you turn on the television, you'll see it. All right, so they are very much sexualized, especially in certain circles, if you know what I mean. Like certain areas of town, they're very sexualized. The children, all right, and that's a terrible, terrible thing. But it is what happens, right? I wanted to bring up some simple ideas because the thing is, with all these people putting in very, very good work, respectable work out there, trying to get to the nitty gritty, all these people out there saying a whole bunch of words. The thing is, I like the words. I like to hear them. That's the thing that I like to do. So I'll be hearing your words. Thank you for saying the words. I appreciate it. The more words, the better to me. I think of the words being like bricks that you can build with. All right, the more words, the better. However, in another sense, it only tends to complicate things, complicate matters. To think about, oh, who's this and that. Oh, I think this is bad, but I don't think this is bad. All these things, you know, this person is really, really guilty, or that person is really, really guilty. Um, the thing is, our whole situation has been very complicated. All right, this is Kayla's whole childhood was made to be a very complicated situation, and if we just simplify it, I think we'll have a lot of success in that. But the thing is, we may or may not ever do that, but it would just make sense. I want to talk to you before we discuss all the different various avenues that you can go down as to who's guilty, what's guilty. I want to talk to y'all about the actual, I guess, process of being raped. Now, I gotta say as a disclaimer, you can believe me or not believe me, I've never been raped. All right, I don't know what it's like. I don't know, or I mean, I've never really been sexually harassed. Like, I mean, in a way that I find like very displeasing. Right. So the thing is, but you got to take my word for that. But at the same time, here's what I want to discuss with y'all because everybody's trying to come to solutions. Everybody's trying to get some results. Can't blame you for that, not at all. But here's what I want to suggest for you that you might not have never thought about. In fact, I didn't really think about it until I heard my man Paul Romano, Pockets of the Future, right here on YouTube. Before I heard him bring it up, it's that, all right, you're talking. There's sexual predators in that situation, obviously. Who all are the sexual predators? I don't know, but you can name a handful of them that definitely were sexual predators, right? All right. Well, Paul Romano says this something very key, very crucial for us to think about is that sexual predators. He says, and this is basically verbatim. When it comes to sexual predators, 100% of them have been sexually abused before. 100%. I mean, you had to take his word for it, but the thing is, he's kind of an expert in that field. I kind of tend to trust him and the experience that he has in that field, right? And what he said, and here's the thing, I want you to roll it around in your head, and I want you to think about, okay, is that false? Or is that truthful when you think about it? Every single sexual predator on Earth today has been sexually molested or whatever, like as a child or whatever, traumatized, raped, all sort of things. 100%. All right, so we're over here, almost on the anniversary of a very blessed girl that we're all blessed to even have ever seen her, right? So um, I think it's important that we understand every single sexual predator has been sexually molested and all this. It is a vicious cycle. It is absolutely cyclical. All right. So that's the thing about it. We could put Anthony in jail. We could put Tammy in jail. We could put Luke in jail. We could put, I don't know, whoever, the catfish lady, whoever. We could put them all in jail. Does not matter. This is a cycle that we're going through, right? Until we address the actual problem, problem's going to continue. For sure, all right? So let's think about this, all right? All right, let's think about the nature of the process of being molested and raped. And by the way, I would have to venture to say that most people who have been raped and molested didn't grow up to be sexual predators. Right? That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that every single sexual predator was absolutely sexually molested or raped or whatever like that, and it messed up their wiring in their brains. Right? And now the wiring is all stupid. I mean, if you want like a simple piece of proof of that, think about this. As a person, like for everybody out there who has never been raped, like myself, never been raped, never been like really sexually harassed, really. All right, you don't even really think about that. Raping somebody and things like this don't ever cross your mind. All right, it's not even a thing that you think about, or that could be even possible. It doesn't run through your mind at all. It's the fact is that these people's wires been messed up on their head. They've been touched. Lots of times these country fried like yokels and sexual molesters that everybody's like, oh man, that dirty bastard Anthony Lee Rogers. Anthony Lee Rogers been raped. I promise you, 100%. There is no doubt about that at all. All right. So that's something to think about. All right. Well, if that's something to think about, it is a cycle. How does it act? I mean, obviously, it seems to be contracted physically and spiritually. You know what I'm saying? It's a disease. And that's what Pockets of the Future, my man Paul Romano, pointed out. See, we're taught to think of things in a very like boxed in kind of a way. Like diseases are certain things. Like diseases are with bacterias and viruses and things like that. It's all scientific. No, diseases could be a lot of things. You can get raped and catch rape. You can catch rape. All right, it is a disease. If you, here's what I'm trying to say, and this is what Paul said. I'm just kind of relaying the message, but it's absolutely crucial in this certain situation. If you've been raped, you absolutely need to be cleansed, right? And it's, I mean, I'm not talking about physically like sprayed out or anything like this. I'm talking about there's a whole long process that you need to go to, irregardless. Period. The end of story. All right, you need to go through this kind of process. Hold on one second. Thought I heard somebody outside in the trailer park. I might have had to mess up their whole world, alright? I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to check on that real quick. Like I say, you know, what comes to attention is the fact is that, alright, nobody here is blaming someone for being raped at all, or sexually harassed, or anything like this. However, that person has been stricken with a disease. We have to be real about what's going on here, right? Can't nobody get raped, have their soul basically fiddled with, right? Taking their whole freedom, just snatched it away from them in the most disgusting of ways. I mean, you can't go through that without addressing that problem. It's not gonna go away, right? Is it gonna be traumatized by it and put it way down deep, right? Perhaps don't even talk about it, never again. Or maybe the wires in your brain get all messed up. Maybe you'll start looking at little children the way that you were looked at one time. All right, and the disease will carry on. It's cyclical. All right, so what I'm suggesting is, before we get out of here, we're gonna make it a short broadcast. What I'm suggesting is this: it's real simple. All right, so a very simple process. I mean, because everybody seems to want to complicate things and talk about this and that, talk about drugs. Technically, drugs are all over the place, certainly. They are in Georgia. But the thing is, certainly drugs are all over the place, but it's kind of beside the point, right? In fact, almost everything is beside the point, except the fact that sexual deviation is all over the place. Of course, suicidal tendency has been running all through the family tree. All right, and so the thing is, rehabilitation for every single person who's been raped. That's not going to happen, all right, because you understand in our society, this sort of thing gets swept under the rug, and you don't talk about this. You try to hide this, especially if you're a male, Why? Because that's a mark of shame on you, right? Isn't that how it goes? Become very ashamed to even bring it up, right? That about our society does have to change, and we're in a process of seeing it change right now. I don't know how long it'll take, but that's exactly what we're seeing. That's the process. The fact is, we need to change some things. We need to realize this is a cycle. We need to realize this is a disease. We need to realize that the sexualization of our children is happening all over the place. All right, like at breakneck speed and stuff like this, and that's actually not a good thing. All right, we have to realize that everybody who, I mean, people get molested and stuff like this, and it gets swept under the rug. Nobody talks about it, and then later on they start molesting other people and raping them. All right, all right. So rehabilitation for every single person been a rape, sexually molested. Our tax dollars could easily pay for that. I'm positive of that. All right. Secondly, um, something for everybody to wrap their minds around. First of all, in the rehabilitation, I'm sure there'll be a lot of processes that I I wouldn't know about. I'm not an expert, but I'm sure at the end of the rehabilitation, believe it or not, people can't wrap their heads around this. The rape victim would forgive the rapist. All right, I know that seems all messed up at first, but at the end of every rehabilitation for being raped, the rape victim would forgive the rapist. You had to forgive him, right? Because when you understand that he too has been sexually raped, all right, he's just merely passing you a disease that was passed to him, all right. That's the only way to really gain solace, is what I would venture to suggest to you, because I don't know firsthand. But I do know being slighted. I do know being like taken advantage of, this and that. Everybody does. And it just keeps going to show that, forgiveness is really the only thing that gives you power out here. It's what gives you contentment and peace in your life. Forgiveness. When you forgive all these people who trespass against you. So the rape victim would forgive the rapist, thereby breaking the chain, right? Breaking the cycle of rape, right? And it would only take one generation to do it. Have you ever thought about HIV and HIV people? You understand that HIV would be wiped out this earth if every HIV person just stayed to their damn self. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever thought about that? Okay, so technically we can wipe out rape in one generation if we wanted to, and I think we're going in that direction. When it's going to happen, I'm not sure, but we could, by simply rehabilitating every single person, making it to where, see, but not only that, becoming more serious with our laws, our rape laws, a lot more serious, right? It would be encouraged in a society who wants to alleviate rape. It'd be encouraged to speak out against rape, to discuss what may be sexually inappropriate and things like this. Make sure that people know. All right, that would be a good idea. Um, but at the same time, rape allegations, false rape allegations, quite simply, if I'm going to put it out there for y'all, crack a little egg of brilliance, I mean, the thing is, that should be very damn serious. Right? Should be deadly serious when you think about it. Because if we really, really do, as a society, which we don't, if we really, really do wanted to alleviate rape, we would enact some serious ass laws, because you don't accidentally rape people. You really are trespassing against somebody. It really is violent. It really is dangerous and things like this. So it's like very, very serious laws. First of all, if it's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt in a court of law that you're guilty, you done that, you did that rape stuff, you get put in the dirt, dude. I don't even care how. Put you in the dirt, and like that's the thing about it. A lot of people want to tiptoe around the idea, right? You can tiptoe for 1,000 years. You're not going to come to solutions, because we need to stop the cycle. It's a disease. Those people tainted. I'm sorry about it. Thing is, it'd be a shame to lose their lives. I'm sure there are a whole bunch of great people. Murder them. Not murder them, but like a court of law, put an end to their life. Put them in the damn dirt. Period. But at the same time, don't you ever falsely, if you can't prove a certain situation, and in fact didn't happen, don't ever do that, because it would have to be very serious. It had to be like life in prison type stuff. Don't you ever falsely accuse somebody of that, because that's not acceptable at all. Very serious laws against it. Put you in the damn dirt if that's what you choose to do. And then, see, that's the thing about it. You might wonder yourself, okay, these rape victims out here, they all have different stories. They've been trespassed against. Some of them have been raped violently. All right, how are they supposed to, in the world, forgive the person who raped them? All right. Like I said, once you can wrap your head around the idea that they themselves, those people who raped you, only learned it from somebody else, they've also been raped. You can start to forgive that person. And meanwhile, on top of that, once that person gets proved beyond a shadow of a doubt they've done that to you, guess what? They get put in the dirt. All right? So you might as well forgive them. Like, it doesn't make any sense to not forgive them. They'd be in the dirt now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a situation of a rape culture. We don't live in a rape culture, by the way. Our legislation is not like that of the Middle East and things like this. There's all sort of rape cultures where it's over the top. It's like on the face that they're down for rapes. Here, it's all behind the scenes, under the table type stuff. You don't talk about it because it's frowned upon. It happens all over the place. All right. We're going to get on out of here, make it a short broadcast. But the thing is, thank all y'all. I love y'all, man. Especially Philip out there, man, showing love. B.A. Riggs is my homie. Courtney, that's Courtney, and she's badass. Like I said, Celeste, man, you know, the thing is, she's impressing me, man. She's using all sort of words. And it's all sort of people I never can remember off the top. But Celeste is using all sort of words. She's really coming into her own. She's definitely grabbed onto this Katelyn Nicole Davis thing like a dang pit bull. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it, and I think the world is going to owe her a credit for that, for putting in that kind of a work, because she really has put in work. And there's all other people out there who they've been also chipping away at this situation. And I think that is important. Me personally, I'm not necessarily in that group. I'm kind of a spectator of that group. I keep a close eye on y'all. All right, but they be chipping away. Here's what I gotta say. What I've been saying this whole time is that ain't nobody gonna go to jail for this. Like, nobody is. Period. All right, that's reality. I'm sorry about that. It's not my opinion. It's just not gonna happen. All right, for anybody who might want that to happen, it's not going to. And the whole drugs thing, sexual deviation is way more appropriate in a situation that is sex outside of marriage. You know what I'm saying? And not for to make babies, just to have all sort of drug-filled sex with. You know what I'm saying? That isn't very good. That's not a good look. But you know, we're gonna have to work on that as a society, I suppose. But the thing is, okay, we're gonna be chipping away. Like I said, Celeste knows, doing a great job chipping away at this whole situation. Meanwhile, they are gonna notice that nobody's going to jail. However, they're also gonna notice, because we're in a age of just technological renaissance. I can't even keep up. I have no idea how to keep up. The communication capabilities, right? But to where, see, I mean, Jesus is in the internet. You know what I'm saying? Satan's in the internet too. But I mean, the thing is, man, y'all ain't gonna go under the radar. Anthony Lee Rogers, Tammy Michelle, Luke Callahan. The list goes on and on of these people who are involved. You gotta understand, too many people know about this situation. Too many people ain't gonna let go of it ever. So y'all are always gonna be kind of fucked spiritually. And we're seeing results of that, obviously. Anthony Lee Rogers, who was on Showcase just recently, is a total retard. And he's living a stupid life. And his dick don't work, his balls are falling off, and it's just stupid. And I'm personally over it. Like, I'm tired of his life. But, you know, it's going to get worse probably. It's going to get worse probably. But he ain't going to go to jail for it. I think what's most important, and that what y'all are doing, and what I'm learning from y'all and gathering from y'all, is there's a whole bunch of different various details about how people did things that they shouldn't have done. Not around a child. All right, and took advantage of it and stuff like this. We personally, all of us involved, are going to have to look inside of ourselves, turn our eyeballs around, look inside of ourselves, and ask ourselves, which one of these things do I also do? How am I guilty? How am I guilty in this situation? Am I similar to any of these people in any sort of way? All right. Before the situation of Katelyn Nicole, we might all want to ask ourselves, before this even came to light, are there certain things and aspects and factors that I never even thought about until Katelyn Nicole brought them to my attention? All right. Are there all sort of truths and things like this that I wasn't even concerned about? I didn't want to know the truth. I wasn't concerned. This is a situation that happened to somebody else, and I don't really care. But now you were brought into the situation, and you were forced to learn many different aspects about human nature that you probably didn't even want to know. But you know now. It's actually good that you know. Because these are the bricks that'll build a house, something sturdy. I'm saying we could put Katelyn's memory in, and that house is going to need a steady foundation. All right, call it what you want. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, here's what I'm saying, and we're going to leave out on this note. Everybody out there, like I said, who's putting in more work than me, as far as Katelyn Nicole Davis situation, I thank y'all. Appreciate y'all out there. But myself included, this particular situation is going to be a house that we're building is going to be a prison around us. And it is going to be the end of us. It is going to destroy us, you and me. It's going to destroy our lives. For so, because like I said, we're not going to see some sort of justice. We're not going to see Anthony Lee taken to jail for whatever and this and this. You might go to jail, but on some other totally different charge, right? We're not going to see that. It's going to eat away at our own souls, is what I'm saying. The whole situation, unless we're truthful with ourselves, unless we realize that we ourselves participated in these certain behaviors, and we try to play it off like, oh man, don't, it's not a big deal and stuff like that. But when we see other people do it, we want to point our fingers at them, say, hey, they're guilty, even though they did things that are very similar to what you've done in the past. All right. This situation will destroy every single one of our lives unless we dive and we continuously dive further into the truth. Right? Because that's what needs to be done. Right? It's imperative. It is a mandate. It's going to happen regardless. There will be a reckoning. All right? It's all part of the tribulation. I'm going to have to holler at y'all later. It's been a pleasure. I plan to get up on this stuff more often, but I gotta figure out the logistics of it, man. I appreciate everybody who's watching this video. You know what I'm saying? Leave me a comment so that I know that you watched the video, and don't tell me who watches it. All right. So, anyways, I'll holler at y'all. It's November the 16th, 2017.